Mapperton has been hit by a mega storm. There is more rain than I can ever remember here. And of course, storms means floods, it means leaks. We've already found our first leak in the main house, but just as important is to go out and see what's happening to all of the watercourses, all the rivers and the streams here, and in particular to go and check on the Beaver enclosure to see what damage has been done. But it's absolutely pouring down. I'm getting soaked already. Ben has kindly offered to take me in the mule. We're going to go out, we're going to see what's been happening with the storm walloping this country estate. If you haven't liked and subscribed to our channel, now is the moment to do that. We really look forward to bringing you along on this journey with us. Right, off to go see Ben. Ben, you got your waterproofs on?
Waterproofs on, yeah.
Today, huge storm hitting Mapperton. I mean, literally more water than I've seen here, I think, ever before. I can see it flooding across the roads, down across the fields. What's been the impact in your neck of the woods?
A lot, really.
A lot.
Yeah, it's like you say, I've never seen rain here like it. Experiencing a lot of flooding down the Beaver enclosure, which is always fun when you got to.
Well, the Beaver enclosure, of course, when we have flooding, it brings things down the stream, which bashes into all of the grills and the fencing.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting that we're going to have to go and clear out some stuff, aren't we? We've got a bit of manual labour coming. Yeah, this is, it's biblical, isn't it, really? That's the only word. Let's get in the mule and head off. Right, this is the field in front of the house, known as Park Field, but today it's turned into Park Lake. Look at this. I'm going to see how deep it gets. The ducks and the seagulls should be enjoying this. It's a proper wetland. I mean, this is all part of Mapperton Wildlands, and we've been wanting to do some wetland creation. We haven't really had to do anything here, have we?
Not yet, no.
Wow. It's getting quite deep. Could go for a swim. I'd say it's like almost up to the top of my boots now. Great, let's go on. We want to go check out the gallops, see what's happening up here. This is a serious amount of water, and it's water that is coming off Mapperton land, heading down to the River Brit below. Ben, have you ever seen this much here?
No, I've never seen this happen before, no.
This is an insane amount of water, and it's just coming off a couple of fields here, so it's not as though this is all the water from all of the estate. This is just a couple of fields.
Yeah.
But there's one bit of good news, which is that this water is quite clear, and this is one of the benefits of the rewilding project. This field at this time of year would normally have stubble in it, and this would be muddy water. It would be full of runoff, taking all kinds of lovely nutrients from the soil down into the stream. But you can see that today it's not muddy, it's clear, and that's exactly what we're looking for. That is a gushing river,
gushing of water, yeah.
Isn't it? We're used at Mapperton to having really quite calm, sedate streams that, oh my goodness,
yeah,
look at this. The whole bank is falling away as we're speaking,
yeah.
Over here. That's just extraordinary. So this is a river called the Mangerton. We're right up at the headwaters of the Mangerton here, which means that we're high up, we're where the river starts. And this river goes all the way down to Bridport, where it meets up and joins what's called the Brit. So this is the Brit catchment. What's this like in the summer? Ben?
It's lovely in the summer.
It's a trickle.
It's a trickle, yeah, if that.
It's absolutely a trickle.
Yeah, absolute trickle. And now when you come into winter months and it just sort of gets like this, it's yeah.
Do you know what I want to do? I suddenly had a thought. I've never seen it like this before. I mean, this is a proper river. What I want to do is blow up a tube and go sit in it and head all the way down. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I'll come down at the bottom and pick you up, but I'll probably have to drive down to Bridport.
Pick up what's left of me.
Yeah, that's it.
Now, whilst this is quite good news for the water supply at Mapperton, it's not necessarily very good news for the beaver enclosure, is it, Ben?
It's not, no.
What are you expecting?
A lot of devastation, a lot of build-up. The water will probably be very high against the grill. It'll be nearly sort of going over that bridge as well. So yeah, I never really look forward to going down when it's a rainy day like today and looking at the grill.
So this isn't a good moment. At least you've got a companion.
Yeah, I've got someone else.
I can help sort of lift some stuff, and we might even be able to rope in Chris as well. We can actually see erosion in process. Do you see the mud? It's actually trickling down. This whole part of the bank has come away with the power of the water, and you can see that it's quite soon it's going to push out that bit too. You can see that's all fresh and it's come out today because it hasn't got any leaves on it. And this is why we have these valleys, because over the millennia, over millions of years, the water has just carved its way into the landscape. This is Birch Hill Pond. It's a famous pond on Mapperton Live because I once took Julie for a picnic on the island and not everything went according to plan. But at least at that point we could get to the island, whereas you can see now with the huge amount of water that's come in here, it's a proper lake. I think this is a perfect spot for some cold water swimming. So when we get back, we shall tell Julie that there is now a lake she can have a dip in and see what she says. I expect she's not going to be that enthusiastic. We've just noticed something quite interesting here, which is that these trees are Leylandii, and they were put in by my grandfather probably 60 years ago, maybe more. And they're obviously not indigenous to West Dorset. And they give a really good example of the problems that you get when you put in conifer and you put it in too densely, and it just completely destroys any opportunity for vegetation in the understory. I mean, Ben, what can you see of ecological value going on under these trees?
Not a huge amount. The only thing that we are seeing is a lot of just traffic from deer. So
deer.
So
the deer like it.
You can see all the lighter bits underneath. That's where the deer have been cleaning off their antlers, ready for the rut this year. So they're using
they've been preparing for the rut. That's quite interesting, isn't it? You can see the bark has come off.
Yeah, they've sort of stripped all the bark.
And I imagine also if you're a deer and you want to escape somewhere somewhat sheltered in this storm, it's not a bad place.
Wouldn't be the bad place.
But as far as vegetation goes underneath, it's a desert. I can already tell that this is not a happy man, because as soon as we get out of the car, or the mule, we can hear the change in the noise of the water, which means only one thing. Ben, what does it mean?
Grill's blocked.
It means it's blocked. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because
That's quite serious what's happened there, isn't it? It's broken it. That is quite serious. Okay, so it looks as though the force of the water has actually broken the grill, which for us is quite serious because obviously the grill is there to keep the beavers in. And if we don't have a grill, there's a chance that the beavers are not in. Right, this is where we've been having problems with the enclosure, because when we get a lot of rain like this, it brings down rocks, branches, logs, and it smashes into the grill and the fencing. And Ben, what I can see is that there's a bit of the fencing there that has kind of come up. What's happening here?
Yeah, so that just due to the amount of pressure and the force of the water and all the debris that's built up, it builds up, it piles up, and then it creates too much force on the grill, and then the grill and the skirt is just separated, and it's just the wire's just pinged off away from it.
So that has created a hole big enough for a beaver to escape. So I think we're going to have to do some really careful monitoring of our cameras to see whether any of them have got out. That is a hole.
Yeah.
If you're a beaver, you can definitely get out through there.
Yeah, easily. But you can see where the force has been. So it's obviously come away as well, and that's
there's a hole here as well.
So
if they climb up,
and then you can also see where the bank is sort of eroded. You can see the mesh and everything that we actually dug a metre deep in the ground when we built the enclosure. You see that as well.
So this is all the bank has just come out.
Come out as well.
Right, what do we got to clear?
So literally just I'd roll your sleeves up and just we'll start clearing out some debris.
What we're really trying to do is take the pressure off the grill here. Yeah, that water is flowing much better now, isn't it?
Yeah.
So these just get stuck.
So you can hear the rocks just bashing into it while we're clearing it out.
Yeah. So as you clear them, other ones
just keep on piling up against it.
The water's not too cold, is it? That's a good one.
I think it's
cold?
very cold.
Maybe my hand's already numb. Look at that.
It's one of those things when it's weather like this. There's not a huge amount you can do really. You have to just keep on doing this, but. Unless you spend all day down here.
Sounds like we'll be back in the morning.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
We've done a deer survey of the estate. It's really important for us to work out how many deer we have across the whole estate in terms of the density. Because if you have too many deer, then you won't have natural regeneration of trees and shrubs. And the reason for that is that the deer eat them. One of the things that we've got to do here at Mapperton for Mapperton Wildlands is to keep our deer population down so that the density is low enough so that hopefully we can have trees naturally regenerating.
Yeah.
And Ben, tell me what happened this week.
So we had the thermal imaging drone this week that came over, and that's got a thermal imaging camera on it, so it can fly all the way up. It can scan around with the thermal imaging, and then what it can do is switch the camera setting so it's like a daytime camera. It then can zoom in, and then we can see what species it is. So we can tell if it's a fallow buck or fallow doe, seeker stag, muntjac roe, all sorts. So yeah, it's really clever bit of kit. So it gives us a real good idea of population, what we've got here, because the problem is when you go out stalking and you go around and you have a look, you might see the odd one or two, but when they're sort of tucked up in thick vegetation, you can't actually see through it as well.
What was so fascinating though is the numbers of deer.
It's given us a good idea of the population, so now we can go on our cull and sort of work out what our numbers are that we can cull and what we need to do to try and get these numbers under control.
One of the key numbers coming out of this was that we've got a density of over 30 deer per square kilometre. Look at this tree. This is an enormous poplar. I can't get my arms around it, and the beavers have really been going for it. Look at all this chip over here,
Yeah.
it's not going to live, this tree, is it?
No, not now, unfortunately. But yeah, they've been doing this ever since they've started this ever since they came, and then they're slowly progressing, getting more into it now. So
going round and
going
round.
round and round. So hopefully, it'll be another year and it'll be down. Hopefully.
What's interesting about this tree is the angle of it, because when it comes, it'll almost certainly go that way.
Oh yeah.
And you have to wonder what's going on in the mind of the beaver. Are they thinking, I really want to build a dam over there, let's get the tree to fall that direction and then we can build up around it. This pond is not really a pond anymore.
No.
Because the weight of all the water today has brought down the beaver dam on the far side.
Yeah.
So the whole pond has drained away, and all you're left with are the kind of canals that go round in the middle. I mean, this used to be completely covered in water.
It's just very frustrating. It's just, no other word really.
Well, there is no other way, is it?
But that's nature, though, isn't it? That's
yeah.
It's sort of
they build it.
They build it and they have to come back and rebuild, won't they?
And then they have to come back and rebuild. Oh well, I'm happy it's them, not me. Yeah. Ben, am I right? There's another bit of damage further down, further up, rather.
It's I mean, I've been very unlucky this year with beavers and weather, but the ash tree that's fallen, slap in the middle of one of the gates, and it sort of crushed it to.
What, the gate on which side?
Yeah, the gate, the far left-hand side, all the way at the top, the big 10-foot gate.
And destroyed, or?
Just completely crumpled.
Right. So we've got the potential for beavers to be escaping out the gate that way.
Yeah.
Beavers to be escaping out the bottom.
Yeah.
Clearly, there's a significant risk that our beavers have got out. Of course, if they do get out, then there's every chance they'll become stars of the national news, as they were this time last year. Do you remember?
I do. Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't forget.
I think they were starstruck and missing the publicity.
Yeah,
that's why they've gone off. Right, Woody, Twiggy, we're coming for you.